Reject Nation. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and whatever.
Is Oscar Isaac here for this reaction?
The rest of the line.
And dreams or something like that? Yeah, dreams.
Anyway, we got ourselves a Moon Knight clip today.
Hey.
We got ourselves a screener in the email. Now, they sent over 4, but apparently 3 and 4 aren't finished because they don't want to spoil stuff. So I think we're just going to watch only the first episode this weekend. We're going to record our reaction for it, and we'll wait till obviously the show is up to publish it. We're not going to skip ahead. We're just going to be a couple days ahead of you guys for the actual show. But we'll be on time with you weekly right after that. Leave a like. Leave a like in the comment boxes. Whoa!
Cool.
Yes! KHONSHU!
Oh.
Dope.
Don't trust her. You've seen the movie Devil, don't trust her.
Hiya.
Hey,
You alright?
fine, thank you.
Just lost my contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Electrical problems in the building, isn't it?
Always the same, isn't it?
Are we back on the 5th floor?
Yes, the 5th. My friend Claire lives here. I'm visiting her. She's expecting me.
Oh no.
What's going on?
Oh,
Dope.
dude. That's
Dope.
legit.
Dude, you know what was happening in that trailer I noticed was that he can't tell the difference
Between his waking life and the dream. That's right, or nightmares. Not like a nightmare.
Yeah, that was cool. It is nice to see that Marvel is staying true to their word with keeping it truly feeling like a supernatural horror show. I hope like this kind of vibe, this tone that they're omitting here, I hope that remains present throughout the series, because a lot of times when they're teasing horror, it can be like, oh yeah, in the beginning they start doing some horror stuff, but once he's like, oh, I know who I am. I'm actually Marc Spector. I'm Moon Knight. I'm a badass mofo. Then it's just like mainly just action tone. Like that's kind of my concern, is that it'll just switch to action drive only and kind of sacrifice some of the horror tone once we've uncovered enough of the mystery. It is cool to see that Marvel is truly honing in on horror. Like in terms of the MCU, I feel like I've said this once or twice before, but this does feel like the most horror. It seems the most overtly horror.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we keep getting this sort of looming promise of horror really coming into the MCU in a way that isn't just like for a scene or two to enhance the peril or whatever. I feel like as long as we have Stephen Grant, there's that potential for the horror to take hold because, yeah, obviously Marc Spector is going to be much more in control. They're going to play bad to the bone every time he shows up. He's going to put on sunglasses every time. I feel like this is perhaps the true chance to really have something where horror is a flavor throughout, and that's going to inform, a lot of the action in the show. Because too, like the Indiana Jones movies, which they've said are partly an inspiration for this, do have their elements of horror throughout. Like most of the ruins and temples and places he's going, they do a nice job to bridge that fun action with horror, and I feel like we're probably gonna get at least a taste of that here. And that makes me really excited. Horror is probably my favorite genre, and I keep waiting for that one that's gonna scratch my itch as a horror fan, as well as a fan of, the Marvel Universe and their characters and whatnot.
Oh yeah, the physicality on KHONSHU there in that moment looks really good. It looks like a definite blend of actor and costume mixed with some CGI, specifically on the hallway shot, just when he's walking down there, but then the close-up of the prosthetic of the head looked really cool. I love the details on it. It makes me wonder story-wise what they're doing though with Moon Knight, because they've already shown they're mixing up some timelines and some character work here. Like this person personality of Stephen Grant. If you didn't tell me it was Stephen Grant, I would assume it is the personality of Jake Lockley, who was like the taxi cab driver and stuff, whereas like Stephen Grant in the comics is more of like a wealthy philanthropist and such. Stephen Grant here does not look like a dude made of money whatsoever. And there was this other trailer that I watched over the weekend that showed him, Stephen Grant, interacting with Marc Spector, and it's like in this show they're showing that Stephen Grant will probably be the primary protagonist, the personality you're hanging out with the most, at least in the beginning. Like, I'm wondering if they're gonna do some type of shift halfway through the season where, okay, now that we've unpacked what's going on here with this person, now we're gonna shift gears with the perspective of the show is mainly gonna be coming from Marc Spector himself. But in that trailer, I remember Marc Spector being like, Steven, you weren't supposed to know any of this. Like, he had sort of this protective quality towards Steven. Like, he was trying to shield him from all this. And it seemed very purposeful that he would do that. In the other trailers, you see them go to Egypt. So the presumption I had was that the whole KHONSHU possession already took place, that already happened. Parts of the trailers are now making me think, is the KHONSHU possession supposed to happen later, after he goes and visits the museum and such? Is the KHONSHU's possession supposed to happen then? However, I'm kind of wondering now, what if Marc Spector, and this whole dialogue has only been for people who know what the hell we're talking about. If you don't know what the hell Moon Knight is, I'm just noticing, like,
it's all gibberish to you.
What the hell are we talking about? But I'm wondering now if, like, Marc Spector, at the point in his life where he's at, actually tried suppressing KHONSHU and instead tried making like Stephen Grant the dominant personality to hide KHONSHU for a reason, and now KHONSHU and Marc Spector coinciding are going to be reawakened. That's not what they do in the comics. I know sometimes Marc Spector would suppress the weaker personalities so he can be as strong as possible. Now I wonder if they'll do another flip here, since I've already been changing some stuff just from the footage alone. We'll see. I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool. I mean, in terms of horror, it's like nothing really like uniquely horror about it. What's exciting is the fact that Marvel's doing horror.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. It would be nice to see them bring their own proprietary brand of unique horror, but yeah, I'll take any horror to start.
This is nothing like new.
We've seen hallway gag and someone showing up behind you 1,000 times.
Yeah, so, but it's exciting that Marvel's finally doing it. That's
Yeah.
basically the reason to be excited about it, because it's also opened up a door for them to do more unique horror down the road. It's like, as long as that door's open, as long as they've opened that gate to the upside down.
Yes, Stranger
Levin
Marvels.
closes it again. Impressions, all I gotta do.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, Moon Knight, we're done.
Yes.
I can't tell the difference between when the video's over and when we do a... Andrew Hayes. Andrew, I don't know where you've been. I don't know why you don't give a shit about us anymore, but it makes me feel really happy. We have someone as loyal as you who will just stay pledged without even realizing it, not complain whatsoever, just be like, you know what? I don't even watch their stuff anymore. In fact, I unsubscribed from their main YouTube channel, but I'm here still just because I think it's a tax write-off to keep my card pledged on their Patreon page. I don't know why we would be, and if the government comes a-calling to find out about us, I'm ratting you out. But Andrew, thank you for being loyal. You were one of our first ever patrons, and the amount of time we've been here, you've never once, I don't think you've even left for a month before. I can't tell the difference between when Andrew's active on our Patreon or not. But thank you for being you, dude.